Welcome to the second Oxen Group support video. The support video that we're going to be looking at today is an overview of our buy pick portfolio. This is sort of basically what we will call our bread and butter here at the Oxen Group. Basically, the buy pick portfolio, what we do is we have a combination of day trades and midterm trades that we do. By midterm, we basically mean anything longer than a day trade, which can usually range from about 2 to 5 to 6 days, in that range. Mostly short-term swing trades. And the buy pick portfolio works that we give a lot of recommendations, and each morning we give usually a pick each morning, and then we also usually give a pick during the afternoon. Sometimes we'll give 2 picks in the morning, sometimes we'll give a couple picks in the afternoon, just sort of changes based on what we see in the market. But we always usually typically have 1 pick before the market comes out, or excuse me, before the market opens, that we release, and that's usually a day trade or a midterm trade. And the way that the site has broken it down is we have the Oxen report right here, and this is where you can get your Oxen report every morning. We give a little preview here, and then if you click more, it will take you to the page where you can see the buy pick. And then only our premium members and our basic members can read the stories and get access to everything in the buy pick portfolio. Your general member doesn't have access to the stories, nor do they have access to what positions we're getting into before we get into them. After we get into them in the evening, we'll talk about those, and we can in our Oxen Group Nightly, and as well as our results page, will show those picks. But we don't give those away for free, simply because that is what the premium member and the basic membership is all about, is getting those buy picks as well as some other ones. Here on the current positions page, we use this page to basically give what our current positions are. Anything that has an X means that it's the position is still open, or sometimes you might see something with like a half, which means that we're not fully out of the position yet. If it has a green, then it means it was a gain, and if it has red, then it means it was a loss. And you can see there's a lot more green than red. And we give the entry price, as well as our target exit, and then our actual exit, and a stop loss. And this can help you if you're on the go, or you want to know, if you're just got into Bank of America with us and you're kind of wondering, well, where should I get out? I'm not sure if what place I should get out. Well, you can look at our target exit, and that will give you our first target exit. What we typically like to do is we like to get into a position at our entry price, and then we like to get a target exit where we'll usually exit half of the position at most, or at least 1/3 to 1/2, excuse me, and then that way we can target that exit, and then we can take advantage of more gains on top of that target. But what we like to do is we like to lock in gains at usually 2 to 3%, and then hold for a little bit more. And the reason that we like to do this is because often traders take gains way too early, and they don't use stop losses enough to minimize losses. And that's why a lot of traders have trouble trading, is because you're happy to get a 1% gain, you're happy to get that 0.5% gain, that quick scalp, and get out of a stock, or a 2% gain even, and get out of it completely. And in reality, if every time you take a 2% gain, or you take a 1% gain, and you have stop losses at 2% or 3%, what you're going to end up doing is every time you take a loss, you're going to neutralize too many of your gains. And over time, if you're not highly accurate, you're going to neutralize too many of your gains. So what we like to do is we'd like to target a 2% exit, and we'd like to have a stop loss usually at 2% to 3%. And that way, we can basically go neutralize 1 for 1. But then on top of that, we then don't take all our gains at 2%, and we like to take some at 3, 4, 5%, or we'll then take some at 1% if we get back or back to neutral. Now, the thing is with that, is that we then also combine that with 75% accuracy. So every 3 out of 4 picks we're doing, we're getting a 2% to 3% gain. We're taking a 2% to 3% stop loss. So 1 for 1 we're neutralizing, but we have 2 picks on top of that are then going to be gains. And so you can see over time that that's going to have a compounding factor that's going to really allow you to make a lot of money with us. The keys, though, are using the limits and using the stops. So on the target exit here, this is a place where you should set a limit for at least half your position. Okay, you open up of the day, you got a job. You get into a stock in the morning with us at 8:30. Right away, you go in, you set your limit for 2% gain for half your position. That limit's then going to hit when it hits that, and you're going to be out of the half that position. At that time, we're going to send out an email saying, okay, we're out of half. This is our next target, or what we're looking to do now with that position. You get that alert, you read that email, you know what the next thing is you need to do, and then you go and you set your next limit for the next target. It's real simple, it's really cut and dry, and it makes it very easy for you to day trade while you still have a job. But you do need to have the time in order to dedicate to at least being able to set the limits, to set the stops, to at least monitor your position somewhat. If you don't have that time and that availability to be able to do those simple things, then trading is really going to be very difficult for you, because how are you able to manage your stocks when you're not able to set limits and set stop losses? And so we really think that that's a key to day trading. It's one of our fundamental tenets of what we do here: stop limits and stop losses. And the stop loss on the reverse side is you want to have that stop loss in place for 2% or 3%, because if the stock dips and we want to get out before we can lose too much, before we lose 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%, because we find that once stock starts to get down and gets down 2%, it's going to be usually a long way down. And what we do like to do is also we like to have those stop losses on where we see resistance and support lines. So what we'll do is we'll do a stop loss right below a resistance or a support line, and that way, if the stock will get support before it hits that stop loss, and then if it breaks that resistance or that support level, we know that that stock's most likely going to continue down to another resistance or support level, and it's not going to be able to hold. So that will allow you to then get out at a nice place before you could take major losses on top of that. Also, part of the buy pick portfolios, we have premium trades. These are trades that we have that are available for strictly only our premium members. So they only have access to the alert on it. They only have access to the story. They only have access to the information about it, and they're the only ones that will know about it. And we will talk about it after we are in the trade, but only our premium members. And this is just this is a way to reward our premium members, a way to entice other people to take advantage of the premium trades, and it just allows you to get more trades. And usually the second trade or the third trade we do in a day tends to be our premium trade, and those only go to our premium members, but they work in the same exact way as the other picks we have. The results, we are currently updating the results on the website, so we're not going to go over that too much, but basically this is pretty standard. The results will be, you have our results for 2010, we have our results for 2009, just to give you some quick numbers. With an unleveraged account in 2010 and 2009, you would have made over 120% in both years. And that's a pretty significant amount of money that you can make in an unleveraged account. In leveraged accounts, it's 700, 800, 900% opportunity there. So this is a site where you can really make a significant amount of money, and it's actually not as hard as you think. Just following the tenets that I've set before about the stop losses, the limits. Finally, we have the Oxen Nightly. This isn't really part of the buy pick portfolio, but a lot of our analysis can be seen on the Oxen Nightly. It's a nightly video that we do that talks about our positions, the market, and it's a great way to recap the day, to understand some of our analysis, to see what we're seeing, and it really is a helpful part of what we're doing that I think every person that is a member should be taking advantage of, because it allows you to see me hear me talk about our positions and really see exactly what I'm seeing, and then we use charts and we use different analysis to help you understand that. So it's a really key part of what we're doing. But that's going to do it for this support video about the buy pick portfolio. If you have any questions about the buy pick portfolio, please go to the about/contact page. Click and then there you can enter in a question, send it to me, and I will try and get back to you as soon as possible, or email us at contact@theoxengroup.com.